Fastest way to learn automation and actually get a job. Fire the Boss presents, fastest way to learn automation and actually get a job. Ride in dirty with Niagara 4 and the FT700 plus Impala. Chicas. Fire. Alright, listen close. From the day I left school to start my apprenticeship, it took me 12 years to hit the automation game proper. That slow climb. Apprenticeship, college, uni, MVQs, the usual crawl up the ladder. But now, after 7 years deep in the trenches of smart homes, BMS, and industrial rigs, I'm here to spit the truth on what really moves the needle. No fluff, no dead-end shortcuts, just the real boost. Meet the crew riding shotgun in the FT700 plus Impala of automation learning, Leah G front passenger seat, queen of problem-solving boost maps. She's that sharp voice saying, "Boss, treat your brain like you treat that FT700 ECU. Tune every line, test every signal." The brain behind Niagara 4, the tritium framework that runs your whole show. Miriama K, back left seat, Boolean enforcer and communication badass. She keeps you sharp, like BACnet protocol's crisp packets. Speak clear, speak confident, or get dropped like a loose relay. Sky B, back right, the HMI Queen, stacking graphics like turbocharged horsepower. Comfort zones. That's your airbag suspension set soft. Time to jack that up. Learn Rockwell, Omron, Schneider. Stack M like air tanks in the trunk. The Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, Hanjin in the trunk, protocol whisperers. Modbus, Profibus, Ethernet/IP, your torque curve secrets. If you skip these, you're riding without traction. Step 1, choose your track. The 3 industries you gotta know. Smart home automation, like a tricked out lowrider for wealthy clients. Flashy but a small, niche market. Mostly IoT toys, Ring, Hive, Philips Hue, but real home automation means integration on a bigger level, more money, more exclusivity. Sales skills matter here, gotta convince it's worth the price. Building management systems, BMS, the commercial drag strip. Hotels, schools, gyms, every big building's plant room needs you. Energy savings. Money savings. Governments pushing net zero. This is where the clear ROI drives easy sales and steady gigs. Industrial automation, the quarter-mile king. Manufacturing, pharma, food processing, automotive, massive systems, serious complexity. You save them energy, streamline production, and they see cash flow turn up fast. Big opportunities and variety here. Pro tip, skills transfer across tracks. Learn well on one, you're set for the others. Step 2, stack your skills like your FT700 plus ECU's tuned functions, electrical schematics, the wiring harness of your career. If you can't read these, you're driving blind in the dark. Nail this first. Control panels, the ECU and sensors. Understand every relay, switch, component. Reference real panels or pics with schematics in hand. This is how you build and troubleshoot. PLC programming, the compressed air supercharger. Don't rush here. Without the first 2 steps, you're just slapping code on a car missing half its parts. Step 3, get hands-on. Skip the theory. Overkill. Theory is fuel, but hands-on experience. That's NOS. Install gear in your home, snag a trainee spot, or win a project, but know how to deliver before you promise. Taking a pay cut now is like spending on premium race fuel. Pays off when you're in the winner's circle. Step 4, network like you're dropping nitro boosts. Talk to mentors, ask questions, learn the routes they took. Silence kills your momentum like a loose spark plug. Build your social presence. Share your work like the BACnet Chicas drop perfect logic stacks at 3 a.m. Join private groups where real deals and tips flow like nitrous. Bonus, shift the quiet power plays, SHHH. Never outshine the ECU. Sometimes your best move is to blend in and let your work roar quietly while others chase the spotlight. Be unpredictable like airbag suspension, adapt, switch brands, learn new protocols. Keep em guessing so you own every corner. Make your power invisible but undeniable, like the FT700 Plus supercharger hidden under the hood. Your prep and grind aren't flashy but they get the job done. Boss level final recap, pick your industry lane. Build from the ground up, schematics rightward arrow panels rightward arrow programming. Get in the seat and drive hands-on ASAP. Network and build your rep. Focus on skills, not diplomas. Move like a shadow, strike like a turbo. The FT700 Plus Impala is fired up, the BACnet Chicas are ready. Your move, rookie, stomp that pedal, boost your career, and ride hard into automation. The boss, Q compressed air hiss, airbag whoosh, and flawless Niagara 4 logic stack dropping at midnight, 2 Alice's absurd automation adventure in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter's Guide to Getting an Industrial Controls Job Open Book Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole of Career Advice. One dreadfully ordinary afternoon, Alice was reading the world's most boring PLC programming manual when zoom, the white rabbit sprinted past, his pocket watch flashing late for career growth. I'm behind. My skills are obsolete. My networking is non-existent, he shrieked, dropping a broken HMI and a LinkedIn premium invite down the hole. Before Alice could say curiouser and curioser, she tumbled after him, crash, landing in automation wonderland, where PLCs spoke in riddles, HMIs judged life choices, and the Queen of Hearts demanded certifications. Or off with your job prospects. Top hat. The Mad Hatter's unhinged career tea party. Alice found the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, and the Dormouse having tea at a table made of melted Siemens S7-1200 CPUs. Welcome to the job market tea party, the Hatter cackled, pouring tea that switched between eat me, learn Python and drink me, OT cybersecurity crash course. We're all underpaid here, declared the March Hare, smashing a Rockwell PLC with a tuning screwdriver. 12 years to learn this? Should have taken the shortcut. The Dormouse, snoozing inside a Modbus RTU cable, muttered, ZZZ, ladder logic, ZZZ, function blocks, ZZZ. Alice sipped from a cup labeled Networking 101 BZZT, her arms started flailing like a hunting actuator. Rabbit. The White Rabbit's panicked career checklist. The White Rabbit hopped in, frantically checking his Niagara 4 workbench. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm late for upskilling, he cried, reading from a scroll. White heavy checkmark. Step 1, choose your mad industry path. Smart home automation, like the Duchess's pepper-filled kitchen, flashy but chaotic. Building management systems, the Queen's croquet game, rigid rules but steady. Industrial automation, the Jabberwock's domain, terrifying but rewarding. White heavy checkmark. Step 2, stack skills like the caterpillar's mushroom. Electrical schematics, the wiring harness of your career. Control panels, the Mad Hatter's tea set, handle with care. PLC programming, the Cheshire Cat's grin, mysterious but powerful. White heavy checkmark. Step 3, hands-on like the Queen's executioner. Theory is the Dormouse, useful but sleepy. Practice is the executioner, swift and decisive. Alice blinked. This is absurd. No, said the Cheshire Cat, appearing as just a floating Ethernet cable. This is the job market. Crown the Queen of Hearts. Ruthless interview. A trumpet fanfare blared as the Queen of Hearts stormed in, riding a Festo pneumatic cylinder and waving a resume. Off with his unrelated degree, she screamed. The Knave of Hearts trembled. Your Majesty, I swear I watched a YouTube tutorial. Liar, shrieked the Queen. You have no hands-on experience. Sentence him to internship. The crowd gasped. A fate worse than unpaid overtime. Bug. The caterpillar's cryptographic wisdom perched on a tritium Niagara mushroom. The caterpillar blew encrypted smoke rings at Alice. Who are you? He asked slowly. I'm just a beginner, Alice stammered. Wrong, boomed the caterpillar. You are a beginner who skipped subnetting, ignored cybersecurity, and treated protocols like optional toppings. Alice coughed. What should I do? Eat the other side of the mushroom, he said. The one labeled Learn VLANs. Joker the playing cards resume disaster. The ace of spades frantically tried to update his LinkedIn with no Wi-Fi. I'm buffering, he wailed as the screen turned into blue soup. The two of clubs groaned, I told you to list your PLC projects. The king of hearts sighed. Just, use autofill, dear. Rocket Alice's escape from entry-level hell. Alice, now 10 feet tall from eating the upskill mushroom, stumbled upon the mock turtle and the griffin, who were singing, round and round the job hunt goes, where it stops? Nobody knows. If your skills are all in vain, you'll refactor them again. With a final bootloader beep, Alice woke up back at her desk, a TIA portal warning blinking, career growth opportunity, apply now. She sighed, opened LinkedIn, and typed, looking for a mentor who understands Wonderland-level career chaos. The end? Or just the start of her next certification? Fire moral of the story: the white rabbit equals missed opportunities from poor planning. The Queen of Hearts equals HR managers who demand experience but offer no training. The Cheshire Cat equals vague job descriptions that disappear when you need them. The Caterpillar equals the senior engineer who actually gives good advice. The Mad Hatter equals recruiters who schedule interviews at impossible times. In Automation Wonderland, the only way out is through continuous learning, or the Queen will sentence you to help desk support police car light next time. Alice vs. The Jabberwocky of technical interviews. 3-1 Collision Fire. The Boss presents Niagara 4 and the BACnet Chicas tear up the automation highway inside the FT 700 plus Impala. Fire collision intro. Don't just push buttons, push boundaries. Now look here, young blood. You tryin' to learn automation the fast way, the real way, the get hired and get paid kind of way? Then buckle up, cause we ain't talkin' no scenic route. We racin' through BACnet boulevards, airbag down to the asphalt, compressed air screamin' through the FuelTech FT 700 plus like it owes us money. This ain't classroom theory, baby, this is automation in overdrive, and the Niagara 4 Chicas ride in shotgun ain't lettin' you slack. Checkered flag first, meet the crew, inside the Impala. Inside this twin-turbo, methanol snortin', airlifted FT 700 plus Impala controls led, Leah G, riding front passenger seat. She reads electrical schematics like street signs. She's the gateway. You don't understand, Leah? You ain't goin' nowhere. She whispers sweet nothings to solenoids and relays. Miriama K, she's backseat right, glued to her laptop with Niagara 4 loaded up like it's booting Skynet. She's the framework fairy, building dashboards and bringing logic to chaos, and making it look fine. Sky B, rear left, tangled in twisted pairs, whippin' up real-time BACnet configs while spittin' Modbus truth. She ain't speakin' no Python, she speakin' protocols. The Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, squeezed in the trunk, because compression makes diamonds, and they shine under pressure, handling control panel wiring like it's embroidery from the gods. Their label game? Flawless. The Impala's heart, the FT 700 plus ECU, the cold, calculating brain behind the madness. She ain't got emotions, just outputs and RPMs. Talk to her right, she'll give you logic like your ex never could. Wrench skills that stack like race tires at test and tune. Forget crawling through YouTube tutorials for 12 years like it's quicksand. You wanna know what gets you paid in automation? Stacking skills like boost stacks power. Start with schematics. Leah G ain't letting you in the car until you can read ladder diagrams like rap lyrics. Learn to trace power like a detective. Schematics are the VIN numbers of your automation hustle. Then build control panels. Tweedle Z and Sandra pull fuses faster than you pull excuses. You need to know where every wire runs, every DIN rail mounts, every breaker clicks. Panels are where ideas get grounded, literally. Then program, baby. Niagara 4 isn't just a framework, it's the racetrack. Learn your points, your proxies, your PX views. That's Sky B's world, where BACnet talks smooth and logic blocks stack like poker chips at the money table. But don't jump ahead like a rookie trying to program a system without understanding what it controls. That's how folks get booted from the pit crew. You don't earn your keyboard till you can wire a panel blindfolded with a broken crimper. Dashing away compressed air supercharger, learn fast, not slow. See this compressed air supercharger system? It's like your learning path. Air in equals knowledge in, pressure builds equals skills stack, boost hits equals you land that job or project before your resume even loads. That's why you gotta get hands on, immediately. Don't be dreamin' in theories, baby. Go install sensors on your AC, mess with your own Raspberry Pi Plus relay board, get a used panel off Craigslist and rewire it till it sings. Forget the ivory tower. JJ says, you don't learn automation sittin' on your hands. You learn it sold air and M together. Chart decreasing. Don't get fooled by the degree trap. You think a bachelor's gonna unlock the Niagara 4 Chicas control vault. Think again. Ain't nobody in the pit showin' degrees. We show our dashboards, our fault logs, our trending data. Clients don't care about your GPA, they care if the VOBs talk to the AHU and the chiller don't freak out at 3 a.m. The only cert you need? Street certification by the BACnet babes. You show M you can build a panel and program a sequence. That's $700 per day, laptop out, system online by lunchtime. Brain secret strategies from the backseat, 3 unwritten laws. Wanna really win in automation? Don't just learn tech, learn the game. Mystery matters. Don't be giving away every command code and diagram you know. Be like Sky B, say just enough to make M want more. Show a system working, not how you built it. Control the narrative, you the one explaining the savings, the logic, the ROI. Don't get talked over. Like Miriama says, if you ain't programming the system, you're getting programmed by it. Step out clean. Leah G don't fight for contracts. She builds systems so slick, clients chase her. You build enough trust and deliver solid results, you walk away with more offers than a Black Friday sale. Trophy final lap, fastest way to a job. Forget the textbooks. Here's JJ's Automation Fast Track, Week 1 to 2, Learn Schematics, Leah G's Bootcamp, Week 3 to 4, Build Mini Control Panels, Tweedle Zone, Week 5 to 6, Niagara 4 Training, Sky's Protocol Playground, Week 7 to 8, Install a system, any system, in a real environment, your house, mama's garage, that shady coffee shop down the road with bad HVAC, Week 9, Apply. Show work. Don't beg. Bring data. Week 10, Get hired. Bring the FT700 Plus into the office. Intimidate the Jace with a USB cable and confidence. Speech balloon bonus from the backseat. You scared a client's gonna ask for your qualifications. Leah G laughs. Sky B hits deploy on a live building system. Ain't nobody ever asked for a certificate. What they want. Is the room cool? Is the lighting responsive? Can you show them what's using too much power? That's all the certification they need. So fire up your compressed air charger, drop the airbags till the frame scrapes sparks, and roll with the BACnet Chicas down the Niagara 4 freeway. We ain't waitin'. The automation game's out here and the FuelTech Impala only rides with hustlers. 2 Alice's Automation Adventures in Wonderland, a mad engineer's guide through the protocol rabbit hole. Chapter 1, Down the digital rabbit hole. Alice was elbow deep in a malfunctioning PLC cabinet when suddenly, whoosh! A white rabbit in a flame-retardant arc flash suit sprinted past, his smartwatch flashing late for DCS commissioning. Firewall breach detected. OT cybersecurity compromised. Before she could say OPCUA, Alice tumbled after him into a world where, HMI's judged screen designs like the Queen of Hearts judged croquet players. The Cheshire Cat's grin appeared in corrupted SCADA screens during network outages. The Mad Hatter's Tea Party was actually a never-ending software update cycle. Chapter 2, The Queen's brutal code review. Off with their uncommented code, roared the Queen, riding in on a Festo pneumatic cylinder while juggling 3 HMIs. Before her stood the Knave of Hearts, accused of hard-coding IP addresses. First offense, using admin/admin credentials. Second offense, skipping change management documentation. Capital offense, the King of Hearts adjusted his safety goggles and muttered objection overruled before the trial even began. Chapter 3, The Mad Hatter's Continuous Deployment Tea Party. Alice arrived at the strangest CI/CD pipeline imaginable. The Mad Hatter, March Hare, and Dormouse were having tea at a table made of legs, melting Siemens S7-300 CPU's tabletop, a Rockwell Control Logix chassis centerpiece, a Schneider Modicon M580 running unsupported firmware. We're all in production here, cried the March Hare, smashing an Allen Bradley PLC with the Queen's croquet mallet. The Dormouse, curled in a Profibus cable, murmured, "ZZZ. Should have written unit tests, ZZZ." Chapter 4, The Caterpillar's Cryptographic Wisdom. Perched on a Niagara 4 mushroom, the caterpillar blew smoke rings that formed perfect SSL certificates. "Who are you?" he asked between puffs of encrypted vapor. "I'm just an automation engineer," Alice replied meekly. "Wrong," bellowed the caterpillar. "You are an engineer who ignored Layer 2 security, treated VLANs as optional, married one PLC brand like the Duchess married her pepper grinder." Chapter 5, The Mock Turtle's Lament. By the shore of an OPC UA server, the Mock Turtle sang with the Griffin, round and round the CI/CD goes, where it fails, nobody knows. If your code's not tested well, you'll debug it until you're old and frail. Chapter 6, Alice's Digital Awakening. With a jolt, Alice found herself back at her workstation, a TIA portal alert blinking, 0-day exploit detected. She sighed, opened LinkedIn, and typed, "Seeking industrial cybersecurity courses. Also, any PLC programmers who know how to properly version control." The moral of this digital madness: the white rabbit equals running late from poor sprint planning. Law 46, never appear too perfect, show your Git commit history. The Queen equals demanding perfect code reviews while providing no test environments. Law 47, don't overreach, match your tech debt to your release cycle. The Caterpillar equals the DevOps mentor you should have listened to. Law 48, stay adaptable, containerize your legacy systems. In automation wonderland, the only way forward is through continuous integration, lest you end up maintaining COBOL systems in the Queen's server dungeon. Post-credit scene, Tweedledee and Tweedledum arguing over Kubernetes configs while the Dodo organizes a scrum meeting to determine who pushed the breaking change. Wrench. Want more automation madness? Subscribe before the Queen sentences you to legacy system maintenance. #Automation Wonderland, Industry 4.0, DevOps, PLC, OT security, digital transformation. 3.1 Fastest way to learn automation and actually get a job. Fire Studio Microphone. The Boss presents the Niagara 4 FT700 Plus Impala Masterclass Studio Microphone. Fire where knowledge drops faster than a parachute valve on full boost. Scene 1, in the FuelTech FT700 Plus Impala, you don't learn automation, you live it. Seat driver's seat, that's Leah G, the cold start queen of BACnet herself. She don't just roll into the BMS game, she drifts sideways into it with a 30-page points list and a smoked laptop covered in wiring diagrams. She the brains, the fire starter. You need vision? Leah is the spec seat. Passenger seat, Miriama K, known as Miriama the Mapper, got Niagara points tag hierarchies tattooed on her memory. She routes like BACnet MSTP through an industrial switch stack. Got logic blocks built tighter than a nitrous jet. She don't crash, she commissions. Seat back left bucket seat, Sky B, aka the PID Princess. She the one tuning loops like a symphony of compressed air regulators. She'll make an actuator spin so smooth, you'd swear it was gliding on airbag suspension. She calibrates field devices while making beats on a BACnet controller. Seat back right bucket seat, the Tweedle twins, Tweedle Lady Z and Tweedle Sandra. These two? Tag team wizards of troubleshooting Niagara 4 networks. One sniffs packets like a bloodhound, the other rewrites PX views with her eyes closed. They don't debug, they straight up interrogate your points list until the truth comes out. Dashing away collision under the hood, compressed air supercharged learning collision dashing away now. Lemme break this down street style like you ride in shotgun in the FT700 plus Impala. Wanna learn automation fast and get a job doing it? Prohibited. Forget spending 4 years playing musical chairs at university. That's like tuning a car with no fuel pressure. You won't make it past the burnout box. Instead, Step 1, pick your drag strip, choose your industry. You got 3 lanes, playa, home automation, entry-level street tune, slick but light. All ring cameras and Philips Hue. It's cute till you try drag racing it. You'll learn quick it ain't got the torque unless you're building high-end systems for mansions with voice-activated jacuzzis. BMS, Building Management Systems, Mid-Track Wheelie Puller, this where the FT700 Plus shines. Commercial buildings. They all need automation. Hotels, schools, airports. They're burning energy like you're turbo spooling on launch. You save 5% on utilities. That's like knocking a full tenth off your ET. Big ROI, baby. Industrial automation, top fuel territory. You steppin' into food plants, pharmaceuticals, auto assembly lines. Here, automation ain't optional, it's the lifeblood. You walk in with a solid Niagara 4 or PLC skill set, and you walk out with a paycheck thicker than a billet throttle body. Step 2, stack your skills like drag radials on a burnout box. This ain't random. You don't throw nitrous on a car with no rods. Same with skills. Wrench 1. Start with electrical schematics, like reading your ECU logs. If you don't know what your control relays are doing, you're just slamming buttons and praying to the BMS gods. Wrench 2. Learn control panels inside and out. Grab one, wire it, trace it, touch it, love it. That panel is your launch controller. Get intimate. Know every relay, every overload, every damn terminal block. Wrench 3. Then you do programming, PLC, Niagara 4, that's your FuelTech FT700 plus ECU. Your mind is the logic, but your fingers better be tuned from all that wiring work. You can't code logic blocks if you don't know what's on the other end of a dew point. And don't be fooled by those laptop warriors who show up, click a few buttons, collect $800 a day and leave. That's smoke. What you don't see. They built their chops under dashboards and behind breaker panels at 2 a.m. in a utility closet with no AC. Step 3, get hands-on or get out of the car. Package build a panel in your kitchen. Hammer and wrench install sensors in your garage. Chart increasing reverse engineer a zone controller in your spare time. Experience is king. You can't tune suspension without feeling the bumps. And you sure as hell can't program a valve if you don't know what a damper looks like. Take a pay cut if you gotta, that's your sleeper build year. You're adding torque, not show. You'll come back and gap folks who've been learning theory for half a decade. Secret sauce from the Chicas, airbagged life lessons, straight from the FT700 Plus ride. Leah G rides on the front left bag, always up, always looking ahead. She sees the value before the customer does. You gotta control perception like you control airflow. Miriama K on the front right, silent but deadly. She don't flex, she executes. Never outshine the master? Nah. Just reprogram the master's PID loop without him noticing. Shushing face Sky B balances the rear end, like a tuned suspension, she adapts to load. Emotional intelligence is a feedback sensor, use it to keep your team from bottoming out. The Tweedle twins. They're the ride height sensors, constantly calibrating, constantly reading. They see when a point's out of spec before the system even flags it. Watch and learn. Fire final gear pull, you wanna be the boss. Then act like you already own the ECU. Don't wait on permission. Build. Tune. Install. Learn. Repeat. And don't ever forget, power is not given. It's custom fabricated, airbagged, and flash tuned with intent. Clapperboard next stop, we're going inside the control panel JJ style. If you don't know your 24 VDC from your analog input, buckle up, the FT700 plus Chicas finna ride. You in or what? Dashing away to Alice's absurdly chaotic adventures in Automation Wonderland, a madcap reimagining of Alice in Wonderland, FuelTech style, with maximum chaos, nonsense, and a dash of electrical mayhem. Chapter 1, Down the Programming Rabbit Hole. One drowsy afternoon, Alice, a curious but hopelessly lost automation technician, sat staring at a BACnet MSTP wiring diagram that made about as much sense as a dormouse reciting Modbus registers backwards. Suddenly, a frantic white rabbit in a Hibis vest sprinted past, clutching a broken Niagara 4 license key and muttering, "Oh dear! Oh dear! I'm late for the commissioning." Alice, intrigued, chased after him and tumbled headfirst into a gigantic PLC cabinet which, instead of containing relays and terminal blocks, was a swirling vortex of Ethernet cables, mislabeled points, and an angry Queen of Hearts screaming, "Off with their Modbus!" Chapter 2, The Mad Tea Party, aka the Unresolved Network Loop. Alice found herself at a glitching, flickering Mad Hatter's tea party, where, the Mad Hatter, a burnt-out controls engineer, was furiously rebooting a BACnet router while shouting, "Why is a raven like a writing desk? Because neither can pass network traffic." The March Hare, a caffeine-addicted integrator, was chugging Red Bull and muttering, "The subnet mask, it's wrong." The dormouse, an intern who hadn't slept in 72 hours, kept nodding off into a Honeywell manual, only to be jolted awake by Tweedledee and Tweedledum arguing over Rs485 termination resistors. Alice, desperate for answers, turned to the Cheshire Cat, a floating, grinning IT guy who only spoke in firewall rules and VPN errors. "Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?" Alice asked. The cat's grin widened. "That depends a good deal on where you want to get, but since your IP is unassigned, you're not going anywhere." Then he vanished, leaving only a floating 404 page not found in the air. Chapter 3, The Queen's Croquet Game, aka the Commissioning from Hell. Alice stumbled upon a chaotic BACnet croquet match, where flamingos were Ethernet cables that refused to stay plugged in. Hedgehogs were rogue RTUs rolling away mid-calibration. The Queen of Hearts, a project manager with zero patience, kept screeching, "Off with their points list. No, wait, fix it first. Then off with it." The King of Hearts, a clueless client, kept nodding and saying, "Yes, yes, very good," while signing off on untested sequences. Alice, now shrunk to the size of an unaddressed Modbus register, was nearly flattened by a rogue VFD spooling up uncontrollably. Chapter 4, The Trial of the Knave of Hearts, aka the System Handover Meeting. The Knave of Hearts, a rogue subcontractor, was on trial for stealing all the good IP addresses. The Griffin, an old-school electrician, kept grumbling about "back in my day, we used 0-10V and liked it." The Mock Turtle, a retired BMS tech, sobbed while singing "Beautiful Soup," a lament for all the unsaved tritium workflows lost to sudden power outages. The Queen bellowed, "Sentence first. Verdict after." Alice, fed up, finally yelled, "You're all mad." The entire courtroom burst into applause. "Finally," said the Mad Hatter, "she gets it." Chapter 5, Escaping Wonderland, or not, Alice woke up, or so she thought, back at her desk, only to see the White Rabbit frantically reprogramming her HMI. "You're still here," he sighed. The network loop was never resolved. And with that, Alice realized, automation wonderland never ends. You just get better at debugging it. Moral of the story? Law 26, keep your systems as simple as a Dormouse snap schedule. Law 33, if the Queen demands a fix, make sure you have a backup, and a lawyer. Law 44, chaos is just undocumented logic. Document it or perish. The end? Probably not. There's always another alarm, fire. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Because both will crash your system if you don't patch them. Fire 3-1 Movie Camera. The Boss presents, my regrets as an automation outlaw. Ride in dirty in the FT700 Plus Impala with the Niagara 4 Chicas. Chaos level, Niagara 4 circuit melting madness. Intro. Now listen here, ya might be thinkin', JJ, ain't you got that FT700 Plus ECU dialed in tighter than a moonshine nitrous bottle? You see me out here, LinkedIn followers stacked like solenoids in a control cabinet, YouTube views burnin' rubber harder than a pro mod launch, and jobs rollin' in faster than compressed air fills a lowrider tank. But lemme tell ya something straight from the airbag truth bin. Even with the W under my belt and my name in lights on the SCADA strip, I got regrets. PLC, DCS, SCADA regrets. FuelTech FT700 Plus in the trunk, regrets in the front seat. So climb in. We ride in the Impala of remorse, powered by Niagara 4 and BACnet Chicas. Automobile where the Chicas sit in the FT700 Plus Impala. Leah G, the Modbus Queen up front passenger seat, boots on the dashboard, always sniffin' out which protocol ain't talkin' right. Miriama K, the OPC-UA assassin driver side rear, holdin' the laptop with Wireshark open, ready to launch a ping like it's a drag race. Sky B, the historian whisperer middle rear seat, plugged into the data logger, shoutin' timestamp mismatches like NASCAR lap times. The Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra in the trunk, buried in BACnet MSTP traffic and analog point madness like twin turbos backfeedin' into your air pressure logic. Now that you know who ridin' with me, lemme take y'all back and show you where I spun out. Hammer and wrench regret number 1, comfort zone cruisin'. Man, early on, I got too comfortable, like ridin' on 25 psi in the airbags when the track needs 60. I learned Siemens S7 and thought I was the king of the ladder logic rodeo. But I shoulda slid sideways into a Omron, Mitsubishi hell, even touched a Schneider for good measure. Instead, I was a one-trick PLC pony while my competition was out here cross-brand drag racing in every lane. I'd be 50 feet out and losing ground if that FT700 Plus logic block don't adapt. Laptop computer regret number 2, ignoring the cyber bandits. Back in the day, we all said, power plants ain't connected to the outside. Why worry? Let me hit ya with the truth like a DCS alarm storm, that mindset? Old as analog gauges. While I was tuning PID loops, them cyber snakes were slithering through backdoors like unauthorized I/O modules. I ignored cybersecurity. Now I'm neck deep in firewalls, VLANs, and deep packet inspections. Wish I'd learned that stuff when I was still rewiring panels with the Tweedle twins. Hammer and wrench regret number 3, industrial protocol blind spots. Modbus TCP, Profibus DP, Ethernet/IP. I treated M like switch settings on a Christmas light controller. Wrong move. Every protocol's got its own attitude, its own latency quirks, its own I ain't communicatin' today tantrums. If I'd studied protocols like I studied launch RPMS, I wouldn't have spent hours with Wireshark crying over broken packets like spilled race fuel. Electric plug regret number 4, ignorant networking like a red light. Look, you can tune a PID loop blindfolded, but if you don't understand switches, VLANs, or subnetting, you're racing without a track. I learned the hard way, You can't be an automation outlaw if you don't know your way around a Cisco switch or managed router. It's like bolt in on a turbo but forgetting to install the wastegate controller. Satellite antenna. Regret number 5, muzzled mic. Weak communication. I used to mumble through meetings like a PID in manual mode. Guess what? That don't get you nowhere. I shoulda learned early to stand up, speak up, and throw down technical truth like it was a torque wrench at a pit stop. Communication ain't just talking, it's convincing folks. Your HMI layout is the difference between uptime and meltdown. Open book. Regret number 6, documentation disrespect. Look, I used to toss P&IDs and control schematics in the backseat like empty NOS bottles. Thought logic alone was king. But real power? That's understanding wire numbers, signal flow, and cabinet layouts like it's a GPS map through a boost controller. Learn them documents early. That's your race map, your dyno sheet, your team strategy. Mobile phone with arrow. Regret number 7, sleeping on social media like it's Sunday. I should have been posting PLC solves, SCADA screenshots, and DCS digests like I was live streaming a 3.70 run. Folks don't know what you know till you show what you know. LinkedIn ain't just some dusty OL resume site, it's the pits, the track, and the sponsor tent all rolled into one. Handshake. Regret number 8, fear of a skin for help. Early JJ? Scared to ask seniors anything. Thought I'd look weak. Truth is, you gain power by seeking it. It's like having the courage to hook your compressed air supercharger to someone else's boost table. You gain RPMs from experience you didn't even pay for. Microphone. Final thoughts from the FT700 Plus driver's seat. If I had to do it again? Learn more brands than a tuner at PRI. Secure your control system like it's your pink slip. Understand every wire in your box like it's a piston ring. Speak like you're pitching $1 million sponsorship. Post like your career depends on it, cause it just might. The Niagara for Chicas and I. We still racin', still tunin', still breakin' protocols and expectations. But don't be like old JJ sittin' on regrets in a high horsepower body with a 2-bar brain. Now hit that subscribe button like it's a purge valve at the line. Stay boosted, stay sharp, and don't forget to read your freaking PID. Collision. Bam. We out.